What's up, everybody? Everybody. We in the house. We're back. Yup, it's Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's making all that noise?
That's you.
Yeah, that's me. I'm sorry, bro. Turn it down. I can keep forgetting to turn it down. We're back in the house. It is Thursday, 5 p.m. A2D Radio on Vetted. I'm Irving Fryar. That's Big Dog Hollis Thomas on the other side over there. Big Dog, tell the people what you got to tell the people.
Today I'm here to tell you about Royal Billiards Recreation. It was established in 1982, so they're celebrating 42 years of being in business and being the ultimate place for your man cave and game room desires. It's located at 515 Bethlehem Pike in Comar, Pennsylvania, 18915. That's 515 Bethlehem Pike, Comar, Pennsylvania, 18915, or go to royalbilliards.com and you get things like pool tables, shuffleboards, bar and kitchen stools, and my favorite, the king size throne that I always sit on. And also you can get bars and tables, and let's not forget the tender hot tubs, the hot tub to soothe the savage beast. And let's not forget the video games. And one of my favorite parts of going out to the store is Marty. But if you can't get out to the store, you just go on royalbilliards.com, or if you can get to the store, it's at 515 Bethlehem Pike, Comar, Pennsylvania, 18915. And tell them you heard it on A2D Radio, and tell them that the tank sent you. Hey, Marty.
Marty in the house. I
Marty
thought when you said hot tub, I thought you were going to do the James Brown thing. Hot tub. You just
get in the water.
And yes, Carlino's. Don't forget, I'm always talking about Carlino's. Listen, I'm very far away in terms of location geographically, but listen, that is the place to be. An Italian Market, County Line Road in Ardmore. 41 years. It was 40 years when we started these advertisements, but it's 41 years. Now that it's 2024, 41 years family business. Started 41 years ago. Mama Carlino and Papa Carlino, Nicola, 1983. Carlino's is in their third generation of leadership. Carlino's has expanded their brand to include a food and wine importing business. Food and wine. So you get food and drink. Yeah, they're sourcing, importing high quality Italian products, many of which are not even here in the States yet. They treat everybody like they're somebody. Food, pastas, wines. It's not Italian if it's not wine. Go to Carlino's. Tell them Irving and Big Dog sent you. County Line Road in Ardmore. Ask for Pat and Angela. Carlino's.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it is delicious. I am going over there.
You're going
to fill my refrigerator and to get me one of those tender, delicious meat lovers pizza.
See, you live close enough.
Yes.
You know what I should start doing? Send my order through you. Let you go pick it up. Because you're like halfway between me and Carlino's.
Yeah, because it's just like soon as you come over the bridge, I'm right there.
Let you pick it up and get it. Then I'll come get it from you. Yeah, that's what we're gonna start doing. Yeah.
Just let me know. I'll let you know the next time when I'm going over there, and I'll grab some stuff for you. Yes, I'll grab what I think. Well, you know, I always pick delicious food. So
I can use one of those meat lovers pizzas you're talking about.
Man. You I don't think they didn't bring it out there with you.
No, I didn't have one. No.
Yeah, that was delicious, man. Yeah.
Everything you eat, like you said, is delicious.
It's tasty. It's quite a tasty entree.
So listen, there's always something going on in the sports world.
Yes, it is.
Always something happening. We're not a big show when it comes to basketball, but I want to talk just for a brief moment
about the 65 game thing.
Yeah, 65 game thing with Joel Embiid, this injury that he has. This thing just continues to do. This is a saga that is the same story every year with Joel Embiid. And personally, and I'm not really a big basketball fan. You know, I watched basketball back when I was playing in the NFL. So you had the Michael Jordans and the Magic Johnsons and people like that were playing. It was very exciting for me. Yeah, the great basketball players. It was very exciting for me. I watched, you know, Kevin McHale and people like that when I was up in New England, Larry Bird. But when those guys retired, I really stopped watching basketball because things have really gotten, in my opinion, out of hand. These guys, you know, they decide when they want to rest. And I really think that that's unfair to people who pay a lot of money. You know, tickets for professional sporting events are not cheap anymore. So if you take your kid or two kids or your family to a basketball game or a football game, professional basketball game, professional football game, you're spending hundreds, if not a couple $1,000s to do that. And then you go to see your favorite player and they decided, okay, I'm going to take some rest tonight. I'm not playing tonight. That's just really unfair to the ticket holders and people who are true fans who pay their hard-earned money to come watch and be entertained by these great athletes. And now we have Joel Embiid again. You know, I don't know if the report came out about his knee. They're supposed to be doing an MRI. Right. But, you know, you got this whole thing that starts happening. You know, he's doing so well and he scores 70 points and, you know, they're playing, they're doing all right. Maxi's doing well. You know, he's got a new role. He's, you know, dishing the ball and feeding and being the leader, one of the leaders. And things just kind of leveled off now. And now we get into the part of the season at the same time, all the time since Joel Embiid has been with the Sixers, where now he's hurt and he starts missing time and he stays hurt. If we're going to go by the trend of the years past, he'll stay hurt for the rest of the year on into the playoffs if they make the playoffs, and it just won't happen for the Sixers.
Yeah.
My opinion is they need to do something about Joel Embiid. Meaning, he's a great athlete. Don't get me wrong. No one his size has ever been able to do what he can do. He can work inside, he can work outside, he can dribble, he can handle the ball, he can shoot, all of that. But Doc, if you're not on the floor helping your team scoring points during the whole season, particularly the playoffs, then what good are you?
Yeah,
what good are you? You're just temporary entertainment.
Yeah. And you're a liability, and then when people count on you and then you're not there, things get to go, people start talking, what's the use? And it's like the one thing I think they need to let him heal all the way. That's the one thing. If you continue to, about with any injury, we've been getting shot up and stuff. If you don't let something heal all the way, it's gonna nag you throughout the entire season. And him being a giant the way he is, the knees and the ankles are. If you let that linger, continue to not let that heal all the way, then it'll be a problem for the rest of your life.
But him healing all the way would probably mean him missing most of the rest of the regular season.
Well, if you had to do that, I would rather have him for the playoffs fully healed than to keep having to come out there and re-injuring yourself.
But he's always, when the season starts, he's always healed. He's always 100%, as most people are when the season starts, unless they have to have some type of surgery or something or doing some kind of rehab during the off season. But he's healthy coming into the regular season at the beginning of the season. But this always happens around this time of the year where he has some kind of injury. I mean, now if it's a serious injury, and they need to let him sit and let him heal. But if it's not a serious injury, he's going to continue to play and he's going to continue to limp all over the floor, have a hitch in his giddy up, and not be as effective towards the latter part of the season and in the playoffs like it's been for the last few years, which to me is ridiculous. When you look at players in the history of the NBA, guys it didn't happen like that with guys. Every time I turn the TV on, every time I turn, no, not now. I'm talking about back when I watched the basketball. Oh, yeah. Every time I turned the TV on to see Michael Jordan, guess who was playing? Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Regardless, and you can't tell me there weren't some aches and pains because teams back then used to target and bump and beat and throw him down on the floor and do things purposefully to try to take him out.
Beat up the teacher's pet.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And you see Mark McMillan in that something about Go Chiefs already.
What's
up, Mighty Mouse?
We ain't get there yet, Mark. Mark, we didn't get there yet. Come on, Mark. Mark, we ain't there yet, Mark. We're gonna get there. Hold on, brother. We love you too, man. Appreciate you watching us. Yeah, appreciate you watching.
You know what though? Somebody else was talking about that because they were doing all this load management stuff and talking about the rigors of. I was like, that's what you signed up for. Nobody's, you find sympathy in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. You get millions of dollars. You get millions of dollars to play.
No. Say that again. Say that again, big dog.
You'll find sympathy in the dictionary between shit and syphilis.
I gotta use that, man.
You had to. I got that from Major Payne, David.
Major Payne, yeah.
I am not your brother. No, but it's like so. But when you look at it, it's like everybody's talking about all these aches and pains. but that's not kind of that's what you. That's the game. That's part of the game. And somebody just said it on one of the shows is they were saying that they understand the rule.
You're making me get hot. Let me take my hat off, man.
They understand the rule, but they say, but you shouldn't even have to do a rule. It's like when the people and I don't think I think that's what has me endeared. Me and you endeared to the fan now because when we played, we didn't know that the people they hustle and scuffle to come to these games.
Right.
It's like it's a luxury. It's extra. That's like so when they come and they did all this planning and stuff to get to the game, and you're happy as they playing because you need a night off. I was like, that was never the case.
But like you said, that's the profession. You don't take nights off, particularly if nothing's wrong. If you're injured, okay, because injury happens more so in football than basketball. I'm still trying to figure out how guys get injured in basketball and how guys get injured in baseball. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, the baseball comes at a really, really high velocity.
Yeah, okay, if you get hit with the baseball, but you're a baseball player, you're supposed to catch the ball, not get hit with the ball. And unless you're standing at the plate.
The turf monster is undefeated.
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out. But anyway, unless if you're hurt, and I'm talking about all professional sports, if you're legitimately hurt and you cannot play, of course. And
you remember the movie The Program?
Well, yeah. Well, you get.
I'm talking if you're hurt, you're not.
If you're injured,
you can't play.
Okay, if you're injured, you can't play.
Right.
If you're hurt, or even hurt to the point to where you're less than 50%, then okay, I understand that you can't play. Cool, that happens to everybody at some point, particularly if you play long enough. But this load management crap, where you take a night off because, okay, I done played. Let me see. I played 5 games in a row. Let me take this one off so I can. No. That's the game. Guys, like, again, we always put MJ and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain.
And Magic days
off. And do you know what kind of sneakers that Wilt Chamberlain played in?
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylors. They didn't have no cushion. Them jokers jumped. They ain't have no spring in the shoes. Those cats played with those flat behind Chuck Taylors, and they still played all their games, no load management. So I really don't get it. It's a new day, it's a new time. And even when you look at the CBA with the NFL, these players don't want to practice.
Nope.
They don't want to hit. They don't want to put pads on. They negotiated all of that in the new CBA where they don't have to be on the field for but a certain amount of time. Yeah, and that's it.
And they gave some money back for that too.
Well, yeah, because all the owners care about is money. They don't care about how long they're on the field.
You want to control practice? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you can control practice.
Give me that 9% back.
Yeah, we're controlling the money. That's all the owners the owners care about. And if you all think something different than that, you're sadly mistaken, because these owners in the NFL and who own these professional teams, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, whatever, the owners, only thing they care about is money. I guarantee you that. That's it. They don't care nothing about the players. They don't care nothing about the coaches. They care about money. And when the team or the coaches or the players are not making the money, guess what? Because they're not winning, guess what happens? They get fired.
They start at the top.
They start at the top. It's all about money. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Don't get it twisted. It's all about money. Winning championships, they make money. When they win championships, they can sell more merchandise. They get more tickets in the seat. More
the only team that the highest grossing team does not win championships, Dallas Cowboys.
That's sorry. They can always sell themselves as America's team. So they got enough crazy folk who are following them. So, but anyway.
Before we get into the football stuff, we have
I got to read the
hats.com read, and then we're going to come back and actually get into some football.
Are we going to talk about football today?
Yes, we're going to talk about a little football today.
Okay, we're going to talk about football today. Yeah. All right, we got some stuff to talk about. All right, hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and every trend. Yep, hats.com, locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics. They're upset right now, like we all are, but they're still Philly sports team fanatics. Yes, they are. Hats.com can help you elevate your hat, John. That's a Philly or Philadelphia slang word, John. That's what that is. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at hats.com to find your perfect size and your perfect style. Guess what? Shipping and returns are absolutely 100% free. Yes, they're the best. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order at hats.com. You can Google that. Yeah.
Nice. What so did you watch games this weekend?
Well, yeah, I watched the games. Before we get to that,
Okay.
I want to get into some of the scuttlebutt.
Okay.
That's it's always good to talk about scuttlebutt.
You can talk about the DC hiring Dan Quinn.
No. I could care less about that. We'll have to talk about that kind of stuff when football is over. So after the Super Bowl, we'll start talking about, all the different hires and what we think and what they did prior and why did they hire that person. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. So because we're going to be searching for content here in a little while.
I'm gonna give you the draft stuff because they currently the Senior Bowl is going on.
Well, yeah. So, we'll be struggling a little bit, not a little bit, but we'll be struggling for a little content here pretty soon. But we'll be all right. There'll always be something. But the word out locally or recently, the last few days, has been talk about AJ Brown being traded. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard the crap.
And then there were a couple of interviews of AJ on ESPN asking him, has he heard about it? Is there any truth to it? What does he think about it? That kind of thing. And he didn't necessarily say anything. He didn't say anything directly.
He said it was a surprise to him. It would be a surprise to him.
Right. But then he also said, I guess one of the interviewers asked him, so will we see you catching balls next year as an Eagle? I'm paraphrasing. That wasn't the exact words. And he said something, well, I'm going to focus on my family and we'll just see the way it goes. So he didn't add fuel to the fire, but he didn't extinguish the fire either. Because that's an opportunity. If that were me, if I didn't know anything about it, and it was just scuttlebutt, it was just people talking, how we do, people make up stuff to keep stuff going. If it was that kind of thing and I knew about it, I certainly would not have said, okay, I'm just going to focus on my family and we'll see what happens. I would have said, well, I don't know anything about it. Nobody said anything to me about being traded.
He did say that on he was being interviewed because him and Smith, Devontae Smith had a little back and forth, and he said he didn't know nothing about it.
Right, he didn't know anything about it. But when they asked him, is he going to be back next year catching balls for the Eagles? He had an opportunity at that point to say yes or no, as far as he knows. So what I'm saying is he had an opportunity to squash it, but it's almost like he kept the whole thing going. I don't know if that's because he's kind of like he likes drama, or if it's because maybe there is something to it and he's not saying. But people were talking about whether it would be all right, if the Eagles would be all right if AJ Brown was gone next year or not.
No, it wouldn't be.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think so?
No, you think so?
It depends. It depends on when you look at the offense, this is my opinion. You look at the offense, he's the best player on offense. When you look at the offense, he's been, I would say, the most productive this year. He had the best year offensively. He went on that stretch with a 5 or 6 games, set that record for over 125 yards, in pass catching. He had a great year this year, had a great year last year, but I believe he's the best player on offense that the Eagles have right now. Now, Jalen Hurts is the most important player on offense, but I believe AJ Brown is the best player on offense. But when you go back 2 years and you look at what the Eagles did offensively with just Devontae Smith and Jalen, they handled their business. They still went to the playoffs that year. Yes, AJ Brown came and took them over the top their second year, Jalen's second year as a starter, and they went to the Super Bowl. But was he able to do that this year? No. He still was productive, AJ Brown, but it didn't get the team anywhere. So based on what they may be able to get for him, if this is the case, if this is the scenario that, they're going to trade him, obviously it would have to be a high price on his head. I don't know if he's drama on the team. I don't know all of that. We see him doing his thing on the sidelines. We see animated interaction between him and Jalen, and people, come up with their own opinions about what that is.
Right.
If he does happen to be a little bit of a problem, then yeah, I would not shy away from the possibility of maybe getting a couple of first round draft choices from him. When you look at the prospects, and I did this a little bit today, you look at the prospects coming out of college. Out of the top 50 prospects, 11 of them are wide receivers.
Yeah. But unless I'm getting Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm not getting rid of AJ Brown in his prime. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That'd be stupid to get rid of the guy because if you got the proper, I feel like with bringing the proper offensive coordinator in here, he will get his catches, and then things will be more dynamic. I think sometimes I think people have.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with catches. I really don't. I think because.
Well, listen to what they said in the when the offense started getting stagnant and stale. If you look at what the way the offensive line was coming out of the huddle, we talked about this.
Right.
It's like everybody's going to the things that we talk about now, they magnify themselves when you get your ass kicked because everybody's bitching.
Right.
It's like, so I wouldn't like, I don't know. There's like then Alice Smoothie already said we already made that mistake with T.O. You don't get rid of your number one receiver, especially a guy that's got a good relationship with the quarterback. He has a good relationship with our quarterback, and they know each other.
Well, T.O. was a whole different story. That was a whole nother animal.
Well, I know the ins and outs of it, and it wasn't his fault.
No, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that whole scenario was a whole different story. It was a whole different animal.
Yeah,
different pieces.
Yeah, I'm saying one guy was mad because the Philly people accepted one a little quicker than they accepted him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was a long drawn out story. But back to what we're talking about now, I don't think AJ is. I don't think they're giving AJ.
So would you say they're using a word like untouchable? You think he's untouchable?
I don't think he's untouchable.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If who's that? Was that Devo 82 talking of AJ being traded? The either or Hollis, I guess either Hollis or Irving engineer a trade to another, and how does it work?
Yeah, I didn't engineer no damn trade because I wasn't down about trading them. Did you engineer a trade that you saw that work, Irv?
No, I didn't engineer a trade. No, I'm just saying, he's not untouchable. Like you said, he's not untouchable though.
Yeah, but no, it's like when you look at the grand landscape of things, the only person untouchable on that offense is a quarterback.
Right. Exactly. And that's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And it's but the thing that we continue to do, you can't fall victim to them saying stuff. And he had to answer those questions because they posed them to them.
Right. And he might be.
I think he's just messing with him because it was like when you asked me, it's kind of like when somebody asked me, well, what do you think they're going to do in the front office? Hell, I don't know. I'm a player. The hell you asking me that for?
Right.
He
might be being a little bit standoffish like that in his answers for the simple fact that he might be upset or aggravated or frustrated with the fact that they're asking him those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
About being traded. The season just ended. What's the problem? What's going on? Why am I having to answer these questions? So
exactly, and I think he's just playing coy with him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's that kind of guy. He's
a prankster a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. But the point that I was trying to make, we eventually got to it, is that he's not untouchable. If something golden comes up. And people would know if they're going to trade for, get an AJ Brown, they're going to have to give up something pretty significant or real significant to get him. But I would not answer the phone if I were the Eagles.
And then when he said what he said, he knows that it is business. If somebody calls with a drop dead deal that they can't pass by, he's it was like it's
eventually, the checkbook is going to start getting
a little tighter.
Yeah, because they're going to have to pay Devontae pretty soon. Look at AJ. I think going into next season or even right now, he's the 11th highest paid wide receiver, I believe it is, in the NFL.
And he's one of the top ones, so he's
right. He don't exactly.
I mean, but you let it play out the one that we got right now.
I understand that, but he's going to be asking for more money, whether it's this year or next year. He definitely is going to be asking for more money. Devontae is going to have to get paid here. Justin Jefferson, if his agent asks for like 35 million, well, Devontae is going to ask for 30. His agent is going to ask for 30.
Now, if you look over it cleverly, Linda just said, you see what she said? He had a smirk when he answered yesterday, which gave her the impression that he thought that it was an absurd question. And it was an absurd question.
Well, yeah, it's right now it's scuttlebutt unless it happens. It's just
it's not gonna happen. Nobody's gonna look to give up. They look, like you said, it's 11 top receivers, and it's like, even though he said they know if he gets traded, they're gonna have to pay him now.
Of course.
And you know,
but you mean to tell me if you had an opportunity to get Marvin Harrison Jr., that you wouldn't trade AJ Brown for Marvin Harrison Jr.? I mean, like you said.
I mean,
yes, sir.
I think you have to make that trade.
Yes, in a heartbeat.
You're getting a close to the same commodity.
Yes,
and what you call it, and
a lot less money.
Yeah, a lot less money, and he'll be on a rookie deal.
Yes, sir. Yep. So anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, bro.
I know, speaking of getting paid, we got to pay some bills with a quick video here. Ralphie, hit him with it.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing her love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
I'm looking at Vinny Capriati's comment. He said you would need it's island smoothies and salads. You would need a Herschel Walker deal.
Yeah.
there aren't going to be any more of those kind of deals ever done again.
I don't think so, because
that was like 11 players. Wasn't it 11 players or something like that?
Was it 11 players or draft picks or something?
Yeah, it was 11 players for one guy. That's crazy. It's a whole offense, a whole defense for one guy. So let's throw up our agree to disagree.
Yeah, because I heard
statement.
Yeah, because I heard a couple of people saying it.
Vic Fangio is the right defensive coordinator for the Eagles. Do you agree or do you disagree? What about you, Big Dog?
I agree, because he's gonna hold guys accountable. It's like we need our defense to be held accountable for stopping people, not only for stopping people, putting fear in people's heart. And do you know what I do love? The hiring of Clint.
Okay, right.
Defensive line coach.
Right.
Doesn't like his guys going backwards.
Well, he can go out there and play himself.
No, but he was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks,
right.
And so I was like, I love it. I love the way he teaches D line. You got to go forward as a defensive lineman, and then you don't want nobody dropping in the coverage. You don't drop your best pass rusher in the coverage. That was the stupidest stuff I've seen ever. And we kept doing it too. And remember when they asked him what about dropping in the coverage, he's like, I just do what they what they need me to do. And
he's doing what he wants
to do. No, he's like, you don't want to drop in the coverage.
No, you don't want to drop. No, that's what he wanted him to do. Yeah.
It's like do whatever it takes to help the team. That's not helping the team.
No, it's not. He needs to be rushing. So one of the questions that I asked myself last week when we found out about Vic Fangio coming in as a defensive coordinator for the Eagles was the fact that okay, he was in Miami, but he was only there for a year. Why did that relationship get severed so quickly? And just listening to trying to do some research and listening to people. I was listening to Ron Jaworski the other day, who's got some connections around the league. That was some of the issue down there with some of the younger guys. Fangio was coaching them, holding them accountable, and apparently they didn't want to be held accountable. Not that he was too hard, not that he couldn't connect with them, but they just didn't want to. They didn't like him because he was holding them accountable. I don't think they'll have that issue here in Philly. I don't think.
I think the guys want to play
here.
I think the guys want to play, and you can see that the want to with the first 10, 11 games, because we were out there vanilla. We were just out there throwing the defense around, and then we got up against teams that actually strategized against us as they got us on tape and they knew what we were doing and how we were doing it. It's like it reared its ugly head, and I think the guys are looking forward to something where a coach puts them in the position to win. And I think when you're a player and you see things happen and you see them working, I was like, oh, okay. So you do it with a sense of purpose instead of with a sense of hesitation.
Well, plus the players know that he's a veteran coach. The players know that he's an experienced coach. He's not a first-time offensive coordinator. He's not a second-year offensive coordinator. He is a guy that's been doing this for 30-some years. So the players have to respect him just because of his history and his productivity over time in the NFL. So he knows when he says something to them, they can't look at him like he don't know what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. So let's get this thing together. So I believe, there may have been a different defensive coordinator that might have been a good choice as well. But I think the reason that Eagles scooped him up so fast is because he's the right guy at this time. I think he can, given the fact that they get some pieces, some players on defense, particularly at the linebacker position, particularly in the defensive backfield in terms of the corners and safeties, they get some players back there, whether it's through trades, whether it's through the draft, free agency, whatever. If they get some players back there, Fangio, I think, has the wherewithal to put a defense together that can at least not be last in defense next year. But if that, if this offense gets going next year the way it's capable of, and we'll talk about Kellen Moore here in a minute, this offense gets going the way it's capable of, like we saw 2 years ago, a season ago, that went to the Super Bowl. The defense doesn't have to be number one in pass defense. It doesn't have to be number one or in the top 5 stopping the run. If they're in the middle, somewhere in the middle, 10, 15, 12, somewhere in there.
The Dolphins were 10, was rated 10. And they were stopping people and people feared them. And the thing was, he was without like his top corners like the first little bit too. So that he's always not, he's not going to put our secondary in the bind, which I felt like we did a lot. You saw our guys running into each other. You saw the guys not knowing what coverage to run. You saw them. You just saw us get kind of picked apart, and then as the season wore on, it was that sense of unsureness. It's like you see an unsure person. It's like he who hesitates masturbates. When you hesitate, they're gonna run right by you. If you're playing a team who knows what they're doing and they're concise and they're fast with everything they're doing. And then miss it.
Like, he's gone. Before you know it, they're gone. Yep.
Like all you're gonna see is a lot of this and this. Damn. Oh man, I was just close.
So yeah, I think we're trending in the right direction thus far, and I think based on the information that I've been able to acquire with Kellen Moore now as the offensive coordinator. It's a pro style offense. He was with Dallas. He spent some time in the league playing as a quarterback, mostly backup quarterback.
He was a backup quarterback.
When I say playing, he was on somebody's team. I didn't say I didn't mean play. He didn't start. He was a backup quarterback for the Lions, backup quarterback for the Cowboys, and then stayed there at the Cowboys 2018 as the quarterback coach, and then moved to the offensive coordinator in 2019 through 2022, and then went to the Chargers. Yeah. So, in those years that he was with the offensive coordinator with Dallas, they fared pretty well in the league offensively.
They were scoring points.
Yeah, they fared pretty well.
Yeah, so it's like I think he gets the best out of the offense, but I'm still skeptical because he's a former Cowboy. He smells funny, but we can put some. You got to prove himself to me. I'm not against it. He has to prove himself to me. I know he's got experience and stuff, and he's got experience, and he's had some success. But being a Cowboy and becoming an Eagle, you have to earn your keep, sir.
But the thing, the type of offense that he's used to calling or running is a different type of offense that the Eagles have been running. The Eagles have been running an RPO, run pass offense, mostly offense. He runs the prolific or the pro type offense where there's a lot of vertical routes, where there's not the run pass offense. I mean, you turn around and hand the ball off to the back, as opposed to, faking the ball to the back and determining based on what the defensive end is doing, whether you're going to hand it off or keep it or pass it. So he's going to have to come in and do a combination of both of those, because the type of offense he's used to. And when you look at what happened with Dak last year, this year, Dak was really excited about the offense because they shifted to like a more of a West Coast type of offense, which is a little bit more of a pass run type option type offense. Right. So the pro type offense where you got the vertical routes, that's kind of gotten stagnant over the years. So he's going to have to come in and do a combination of both, because he's going to put in the offense, establish an offense where Jalen can shine.
Mm-hmm.
Where Jalen can shine.
Jalen can still shine. It's just he's got to have those routes, those underneath routes, like we previously had with Shane Steichen, and putting pressure on the entire defense instead of trying to just go deep. Right.
Yeah. North Turner, I played in that kind of offense, that pro style offense with North Turner down in Washington. And man, we throwing the ball downfield. He was only going to throw the short routes for so long. Man, yeah. He'd be on the sidelines just getting impatient. Throw it down the field.
But he would watch call though. He would run the ball though, and then get that play action fake going.
Oh yeah,
and then y'all be wide open. Yeah.
No, we run the ball. We did run the ball, but when the ball got thrown, it was going downfield.
Yeah,
it wasn't it wasn't none of that dinking and dunking stuff. It was going down the field.
And then sometimes you get the tight end on a little sail route or something, or deep end or something, But
that was 17 yards down the field.
Yeah,
that's downfield.
Okay, but it wasn't. But no, not the 50-yard plus 50 yard to plus 40 yard. To get those, you have to run the ball and hit those little downfield routes that you're speaking about.
Play action, yeah. So it'll be interesting. Like you said, the question mark is still out on him. I think Fangio obviously is legitimate and brings experience defensively, particularly in defensive play calling. He brings that experience.
Well, you also the coaches that they brought in. You know that they have a pedigree. They brought in a D-line coach, a defensive coordinator from the Seahawks, and then they brought in a defensive back coach from the Seahawks as well.
Right.
So it's a lot to say about, because in talking to one of my esteemed colleagues in Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor and Lito, it's like normally a guy comes with with ability and stuff. It's up to the coach to get it out of him,
right?
To challenge him.
Right,
and it's like, because you'd always see Leslie Frazier when he was a defensive back coach, and Spags became a defensive back coach when Frazier left. They would always challenge him to be better, and then so you have to when you challenge the guys, and that's what a lot of coaching is, challenging and making sure that they don't get away with not doing the little thing.
Right,
it's attention to detail. When you're playing defense, and I know offense is the same way, it's attention to detail. You don't want to be the reason why a play breaks.
Right.
It's like and I think that's the thing that Vic Fangio brings, is that make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, and you do it to the best of your ability. Because if you do, when it's your turn, you won't be hesitating.
You won't be masturbating. And that's the value, like you said, that's the value of the position coaches.
Yes.
That's the value of the position coach.
And also believing in what you do. Because if everybody's hitting the line of scrimmage, it's like somebody's going to come free. And when it's your turn to come free, you don't want them to keep rewinding tape because you stutter steps, or you did like this, or you didn't believe. You didn't believe. Go. Yeah, Santa Slay is leaving with or without you. So
So, Big Dog, listen, we've been talking. We didn't get into much of what happened last week.
Yeah,
and with the championships, the conference championships, the Lions and the 49ers and the Chiefs and the Ravens. Exciting games, man. Some exciting games. What's
it was interesting because before we get into it, we have the hats.com video. So
just popped up.
Popped up. Well, go ahead, Ralphie, hit us with it before we get started like hammer.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat John. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com. Hats.com.
Hats.com. Yeah. What up, Don Ring? Don is the hat guy.
Don. So yeah, well, you can talk about both. Let's talk about both games. Which game stood out to you the most? Which game do you think was the most disappointing?
Well, I don't really get any disappointment or joy out of either one of them because it's not my birds. So
right, yeah, the Eagles are playing. Right.
So in watching the game, I did notice in the first game with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Ravens, they missed a lot of penalties that they didn't call on the Chiefs. Yet they were calling Ravens. I think before they called a Chiefs penalty, they had called 8 penalties on the Ravens.
Wow. Is that why people were posting that the games are the NFL games are rigged? Yeah. Is that why people were saying that?
Yeah, and the other part too, I'm tired of seeing Taylor Swift. I didn't turn on the game to see Taylor Swift. It's like I don't know that many of us wrong. They making a big deal out of it.
They make a big deal out of her, man, for whatever reason.
But she's the hottest thing going right now. But when you look at it, they missed a lot of calls.
She's the hottest thing going
right now.
In whose world?
In the rest of the world,
okay, not in my world.
Not in my world. No, I'm just saying, like everybody else is all Taylor Swifting it up and wondering if she's going to be able to make it back to the Super Bowl, the 13-hour flight back to make it to the Super Bowl because she has.
She ain't playing in the game.
I know.
Who cares if Taylor Swift makes it back to the Super Bowl or not? And I don't care.
Me neither. They were panning up every time, every time. And then Travis did get off. He did have a really good game. It's like when you look at it, they came out there, and I want to say not the they made the Ravens look pedestrian like, and they slowed them down. And the Ravens had a bunch of the Ravens had a bunch of bonehead moves. Like if you look at the beginning. It was like 4 or 5 times. It was like 4 times that I counted, at least, that I saw unsportsmanlike conduct from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Then they waited till the kid got in the other guy's face and threw the penalty, like when he caught the long bomb.
Zay Flowers?
Yeah. Zay Flowers.
But then he also had that fumble at the 1-inch yard line as well.
Exactly. So it's like you could say that, but then he turns around and he does that, and it was a clear fumble.
It was a fumble. That was a great play on the part of the defense for the Chiefs. That's just a great example of never quit. Don't give up. Keep going, because you never know what's going to happen. Play hard all the time.
Yeah, and that's what defenses are. And it's like you saw the discrepancy in the penalties, and it was bad. But the Ravens didn't do anything to help themselves either. Really, it was a few times that they just got outplayed, and so they made more plays than the Chiefs made more plays than they did, so that consequently they won the game.
Well, I'm going to say this because I see it this way. I think I heard somebody else say it earlier this week, and I'm going to compare the two. I'm going to compare. I know we haven't talked about the 49ers yet with the Lions, but I'm going to compare the two. I'm going to compare the Ravens with the 49ers, and anytime you're looking at an NFL team right now, particularly when it gets into the playoffs and on into, championships and whatnot, Super Bowl, anytime you try to determine who's going to win or who played the best game, it always goes back and focuses on the quarterback.
Right.
All NFL play, teams that are successful, they have a quarterback that plays well. Tremendous. So when you look at the 49ers, Brock Purdy, he came through. Yeah. They the last 2 games, the division championship, the conference championship, they were behind in both of those games. Last minute drive in the division championship, and he came back from what I forget what the deficit was, but it was double digits.
17?
Yeah, they were down double digits.
The Lions double digits, and he got the Green Bay defensive coordinator fired.
Right. So here's what I'm trying to say. When the game was on the line, he's dropped back. I'm talking about Purdy now. He's dropped back in the pocket. And you don't see Purdy run the ball. Can't ever remember seeing him run the ball.
I know.
He did what he had to do to put his team in a position to win. He had 2 big behind runs, and that cat don't run the ball.
The funniest thing too is when you say this, as you're saying this, as much as I despise the 49ers and Taylor Swift all wrapped into one, it's like he put us on notice that he
Taylor
can
Swift's
be
not with the 49ers. She would.
I know, but they both wearing red, so it's like so. And seeing him do this, he slowly, if he could continue to do this, he's going to go from being a game manager to a game changer. He became a game changer in these past 3 games. He became a game changer because a lot of times he would have sat back there and took the sack.
Right.
He became a game changer.
He moved up.
Yeah, moved up. Yep. He moved up.
And when he ran the ball, he didn't just slide. He ran the ball with some nasty intent. He went head first. So I say all that to say this, that and I wanted the Ravens to win because I wanted Lamar Jackson to shake off all that negativity that people always talked about.
Wanted him to shine a little bit.
Yeah, wanted him to shine and win in the playoffs. But he choked. I mean, there's no other way. When you're playing at a high level like he has done most of the season, they had a couple of drop-offs like everybody else did during the season, but they came into the playoffs soaring. They came into the playoffs ascending. They had trounced other teams in the period of time during the season.
And then they came into the playoffs and they trounced the first team division round. Yeah.
Right. They came into the playoffs balling. You hear me? Lamar Jackson, MVP talk, supposed to get the MVP. He's been balling. So you get to a point where you have to ball to win. You got to continue to do what you did, but now you don't do it. That's because you choked.
Yeah.
He choked. He simply choked. He looked he looked like a below average quarterback in that game.
Yeah.
Very normal. Bad, He didn't take off run. Okay, you don't want him to run. He wants to sit in the pocket and throw. And he's gotten better at that this year. Don't get me wrong.
But the thing
he take off and start running.
Yeah,
start running and make first downs.
Yeah, and that's what it's funny you mentioned that because I attribute that to I love a quarterback, and that's what I loved about Jalen Hurts. You do it's like if they take away the pass, you start using your feet. You got to do it. You do what you need to do to run to win. And that's the difference, I think, between him and Patrick Mahomes. He does whatever, and what Brock Purdy did in the game.
Brock Purdy did. Yep.
You do what you need to do to win. I don't give a damn. And that's what. Excuse me.
No, you're right.
No, because this is what I hated about my boy Five. It's like he started listening to everybody and standing in the pocket instead of putting people on notice that if you're gonna do what you're doing, I'm gonna take off. And all of us gonna be tired.
That's right.
But I'm gonna be less tired of y'all. It's like, but he started listening to the outside of them. Oh, he'll never win. He can't be a pocket passer. Standing back there all day long, holding on to the rock, waiting on Ty Pinkston or Nate Brown to get open.
He's been waiting for a lifetime. But you know what? That's what was happening with Lamar Jackson. You could see it. Don't get me wrong, Spagnuolo did a great job of setting his defensive rush up because they created a shell where he couldn't step up and find a hole and run, get through the middle and run in the pocket. It was a kind of a controlled rush.
It was a controlled rush. It's what Emmett Thomas used to call a bus rush. Two interior guys just push their guys back into his lap. And you want to force him one way where want to force him the way that he has trouble throwing on.
Right. And that's what they were doing with Lamar.
They force him to his left because if you force him to his left, he's left-handed. So he doesn't. If you force to his right, he can do like this and throw. You force to his left, he got to turn all the way back around.
He got to turn all the way back around, throw. Yeah, and that's what they were doing with Lamar and frustrating him.
He learned that from Double J, Jim Johnson.
he was getting frustrated. Why? Because he was standing back in the pocket. I don't know if he's trying to prove that he could throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes or not, but he was standing in the pocket and waiting. And the reason he was waiting was because Snead and McDuffie, who are probably the best duo corners in the league right now, they were shut down those wide receivers. Wasn't nobody open, so he didn't have anybody to throw the ball to. And now he starts.
They were smothering Mark Andrews too.
Yeah,
they were double bracketing him, and that's just all I saw was. I saw Jim Johnson looking down at the defense and put his hands on the field, and because you put a guy and then the blitzes were timely, and this is what Jim would do. He would send a DB or a really fast guy after the quarterback because you want the decision made now.
Right.
You want you want him running around now. All that crap with running like, oh, we're scared of him to get out. No, put him on his ass now. You make him make a decision now and get off the field. If you don't do that, you'll be out there for a long time.
But that's been the strength of that's what the strength of the Chiefs has been all year long is that defense. Spags got those cats playing, man. They got some good corners. They got a good pass rush, and that Chris Jones, that cat, man, he'll wreck a game. So I don't know. It's going to be a hard pick for the Super Bowl. So the Lions and the 49ers, you think that Coach made some bad decisions, Campbell, Coach Dan Campbell? Everybody was talking about his bad decisions and going for it on fourth down.
Yeah, and then the backstory is their kicker. I guess they had some kicker who hasn't really kicked. His longest outdoor kick was a little shorter than what.
And that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too.
Get a better damn kicker.
That he didn't have any confidence in the kicker.
Yeah, and that was another thing too. It's like but my thing is this, and everybody's like Pat McAfee's got a show. It's like they play a few downs and then people feel sorry for them when they miss the damn kick. No, they get paid just as much as the rest of us to come in there for 3 or 4 plays. Do your damn. You have one job. Come on,
do it right.
It's like
we would always have a saying: "Don't leave the game in the kicker's hands."
Exactly, but
just score that point, so you have to leave it in his hands.
Yeah, but if he's talking about he's a football player, walking around with the football card and strutting like a peacock and shit, and you missed that kick. The worst I seen the kicker get treated was you remember when we had Chris Bonio?
Yep.
And we lost down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Before you got in there, a couple of the coaches pushed him in his head and threw Gatorade on him. I was dying.
Well, he deserved it. We lost the game because of him.
Yeah, because I was like,
we're supposed to put him in a position to win the game for us. I mean, that's what the kicker is supposed to do. But I believe Campbell just didn't have. But I don't think the fourth down decisions were his worst decision.
Yeah.
His worst decision was when they were down by 10 points. It was 3rd and goal on the 1 yard line, and he freaking ran the ball. They had 3 timeouts at that point.
Yeah.
And he ran the ball, and they didn't score. They got a 2-yard loss, matter of fact.
Yeah.
And they had to call timeout.
And kick a field
goal. Then they ran the ball again and got the touchdown. But now you wasted a timeout.
Yep.
And now he's depending on getting the ball back with 2 timeouts left with about 50-some seconds on an onside kick. No, what are you doing? Pass the ball. It's 3rd and 1. Pass the ball.
A lot of people think they're going to be looking for a cornerback. I say they're going to be looking for a 3rd receiver because the receiver who he dropped 2 fourth down passes that were literally he was literally in his hands.
Yeah, he dropped. Well, let me say this now because he dropped the 4th and 2, and it was a little bit off. But
did it hit his hands?
Yeah, he should have caught it. No, he should have caught it.
Would you? I
would have caught it. But I'm trying to tell you why the ball was off because Jared Goff got pressure. Yeah. And the 49ers are the number 1 team in pressuring the quarterback. And Goff, watch this, when Goff's rate, when he's pressured and when he's not pressured, has the biggest discrepancy out of any quarterback in the league. When he's not pressured, his quarterback rating is 116. When he is pressured, his quarterback rating is 62.
Wish you would have caught that pass.
But I would have caught the ball, yeah. That's on the receiver. Then he dropped that long third, it was 3rd and long. He dropped that. Now that was right. That was a perfect pass.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was on Reynolds. That was not on Goff. But the reason that ball was a little skew was because Goff was getting that pressure for the Niners. Yeah.
Yeah, I think guy too, Linda.
Yeah, yep. Because guess what? If the kicker was Jake Elliott, for sure enough, Campbell would have let him kick the field goal for sure.
Yes, he was. You didn't have
no doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. So we'll come back with our predictions with the Super Bowl here in a minute.
Let me get this.
That's where we're going. Do your thing, big dog. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is History with Hollis.
This day in history with Hollis Thomas is brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. Go to phillysportstrips.com. And Philly Sports Trip is we're actually going out to the Super Bowl because a branch of Philly Sports Trip, that's truefanstravel.com. They're going to have a baller ass tailgate out there in Las Vegas. Is the spot that they got is awesome, and you know our menu. That's truefanstravel.com. Today is February the 1st. This is leap year. February the 1st, 2024 is the 32nd day of the year. There's 334 of these puppies remaining. We're going to start with some national holidays.
All right.
Today is Decorate with Candy Day.
Today Decorate with candy. Wait a minute. Yes. You trying to get a dog to lick you or something, or somebody to lick you because you got candy on?
Well, it's also Dark Chocolate Day. So you decorate the candy in your dark chocolate. And it's G.I. Joe Day. You remember G.I. Joe?
Yeah, I remember G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Yes. Baked Alaska Day. It's actually also Get Up Day, and you probably use this word in some of your sermons. Serpent Day.
Serpent Day? That's serpent. The devil. That's straight devil.
It's a serpent. Yes.
We don't celebrate Serpent Day.
I know. It's also Spunky Old Broad Day.
Did you say bra as in BRA?
Broad.
Oh, broad.
Yeah, like a spunky old lady. It's spunky old broads day.
Okay. Cougar Day. It's Cougar Day.
So to speak, it's a spunky old broads. It was an older lady.
It's Cougar Day.
Okay. we got some events here for you. In 1790, the U.S. Supreme Court convenes for the very first time, and they convened in New York City. We have the Bethlehem dental surgery is the first in the U.S. was incorporated in 1840. In 1893, Thomas Edison completes the world's first movie studio in West Orange, New Jersey. The first movie studio, yes.
Wow.
In 1920, the very first commercial armored car was introduced in St. Paul, Minnesota.
1920?
1920, yes. That's what
they got tired of the stagecoaches getting robbed.
Yeah, but then they started robbing the armored cars.
Blowing them up.
In 1929, the very first clean and jerk of 400 pounds was done by Charles Rigolet.
Bro, that's a whole lot of weight to clean and jerk, man.
Actually, he did a total of 402.5 pounds.
Wow, that's crazy.
The General Electric Theater premiered on CBS and CBS TV in 1953. One of the hosts was Ronald Reagan. He ended up becoming president later on in life.
Yeah.
Yes. 1962, Major League Baseball, the National League, releases its first 162-game schedule due to the expansion. They added 18 games to play in the division. 1965, this is Black History Month. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested with 700 demonstrators in Selma, Alabama. Also in 1965, Peter Jennings at the tender age of 26, he becomes the anchor of ABC Nightly News.
Peter Jennings,
yeah, Peter Jennings. I love Peter Jennings. 1967, the ABA was formed with 10 teams, and they lasted for 9 years, and they had the 3-point shot. So when they merged, that's when the 3-point shot came about. In 68, Vince Lombardi, he stepped down as the NFL, as the Green Bay Packers head coach, but he stays on as GM. And first, now this was funny. 1972, the first scientific handheld calculator was introduced. Guess how much it was?
Probably $5.
$395.
What? What? $395 for a handheld calculator?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yep. 1978.
$395.
You heard what I said.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, it was. And that's the first black woman on the stamp in 1978 was Harriet Tubman. The 1980 on the Billboard Song of the Year was released on this day. Blondie Call Me by Blondie.
Call Me by Blondie.
Yes,
1980.
1982, we had the first show, the David Letterman Show. It was on NBC, and Bill Murray was his first guest. Wow. I got a couple quick more here. We got 1986, the Pro Bowl AFC beat the NFC 10-6, but the MVP was Philadelphia Eagle DN Reggie White. Yeah, see, and then Jeff, what he played guilty. Oh, Jeff Gillooly, he pled guilty to hitting Nancy Kerrigan to to setting up his, and then he said
I remember that.
Yeah, he set up his ex-wife, so he ended up playing guilty. And then in 2004, this is one of my favorite Super Bowls ever. A wardrobe malfunction by Janet Jackson, where she showed the world her canister.
I remember that too.
Yeah. In 2007, the National Weather Service, you know, I'm a weather buff, they switched from the Fujita scale to the enhanced Fujita scale, which added the measurements of the intensity and the strength of tornadoes. Now, I have a couple of quick birthdays here. 1901, we have Clark Gable. 1902, Langston Hughes. 1948, Rick James. Yes. 1968, Lisa Marie Presley. 1968, also Pauly Shore. 1975, we have Big Boy from Outkast. Oh, yeah, 1938, Sherman Hemsley, George Jefferson.
George Jefferson.
Yes, 1987, Ronda Rousey. And 1994, Harry Styles. This day in history with Hollis Topics has been brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. But go to travel fans. The travel fans. Wait a minute. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. Read it right.
My bad. Let me read it right. TrueFansTravel.com. That's TrueFans Travels.com. And book our tailgate out of Vegas. We're going out to Vegas to have a good time.
We both gonna be there. Look for yeah. I'm gonna be there with Big Dog. I'm not going with him, but I'm gonna be there with him.
Yes, and then to maximize my sexy shirt, along with other vetted stuff and the damn Skippy. All of my damn Skippy Club stuff, you can find it on PhillySportsShirts.com, who's also a partner with Philly Sports Strips.
You know, we got to make sure we have those when we're down on Media Row, vetted shirts. Yeah, we're walking through there.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to make sure we have those.
Yeah. What's your prediction about the Super Bowl?
Well, you know, it's Chiefs and 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, but you just said the key to the Super Bowl. Literally before I started doing history, you was talking about the playoff games. I'm gonna see if you remember.
Defense is the key.
This is what teachers do.
Pressure on the quarterback.
No, that's not what you said.
What did I say? I said a whole lot.
The key to what was key to victory in the AFC Championship game?
The NFC and the AFC Championship game?
The AFC Championship game. And it ended up being the thing that happened in the NFC as well.
Well, quarterback running the ball. Yeah, exactly. Quarterback play.
Quarterback doing what it takes to win.
Yeah, to win for sure. Yeah. It always boils down to the quarterback.
Right.
But I think also with this game, you have to look at the two coaches.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
And you gotta go with Andy Reid.
Yeah.
You gotta go and if you look at the history,
you gotta go with Taylor Swift.
When he has 2 weeks to prepare, he's got 2 weeks to prepare. He's undefeated, man. He always does a phenomenal job. And Patrick Mahomes doesn't have to have a great game. He only threw for 170 some yards last year, and they beat the Eagles.
Yeah,
he only threw for 200 some yards last week, and they won. Yeah, he doesn't have to have a great game for them to win.
But it's like you said, it's the decision to pull it down and run to get that first down to keep drives going.
Right.
And with that, you have a good defense. You give them time to rest. You give them time to make corrections on the sideline. If you give it up 3 and out, they don't have time to make corrections.
Nothing.
And then sooner or later they get to reeling, and then eventually the other team has the upper hand and they score, and then they don't stop.
I also think that Andy Reid does a better job of game management than Kyle Shanahan, because it may boil down to that as well. Those little things matter sometimes in big games. They matter a lot, and they get exposed greatly in big games like that if you don't do it right. So I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I'm going with the Chiefs.
I was going with the Chiefs too.
Yeah, I have a hard time betting against Andy and Patrick Mahomes.
Watching Chiefs from Kansas City. We're going with the Chiefs, Tara.
Yep, going with the Chiefs, and the score will be 24-14.
But I don't like Andy. I'll tell you, just like I told the kid at St. Pio Elementary School when he said his best friend was a Cowboy fan. I was like, that's not your friend. That's an associate. And he's like, Mr. Thomas, what's an associate? That's somebody who you have familiar relations with and you're cool with, but you guys don't believe in the same thing. You believe in the Eagles. He believes in the Cowgirls. He's your associate.
So
you hear that, Selena?
So that's for Selena.
Yeah,
Selena's an associate.
Yeah, she's an associate until she gets rid of that blue and that star.
Oh, she's with the blue. Oh yeah, she's an associate. Yeah, Selena, you got to get that straight, sweetheart. We appreciate you supporting us. Everybody else, DJ Charlie Rock, Vinny Capriati, Troy Seabrook. Thank you. What is it? 1777 memorabilia. I don't know who that is.
That's my guy. He's good.
Okay, Linda, thank you very much for supporting. Mark McMillan, I don't know if Mark's still watching or not.
Mark McMillan, he watched early on. And thank my boy Jason Dunn. He's watching too.
Jason Dunn's watching? Devo 82. Yeah. What's going on?
Well, what's up,
George
everybody?
B. God bless you. Thanks for watching today. Y'all, we out. We'll be back next week. We'll talk some more football.
Are we gonna be able to talk? Are we gonna be able to do the show next week? Because we might have to do it on Wednesday. Because remember, we flying out Thursday.
Yeah, we'll have to do the show on Wednesday.
Damn, Skippy.
We'll do the show on Wednesday.
I'm down with the 187.
We're down with the 187.
You don't even know what that means, do you?
No, that's what I just said. Whatever that means. Is that a hit? A 187?
The code for murder for police, man.
That's what I said. It's a hit. See, somebody dying in 187. 187 ain't good for somebody. It's not good. I knew it wasn't something good. I thought it was a hit, but it's a cold murder. He said you down with the 187. Listen, I'm down with the 187, but not mine.
Not mine either. That means we're gonna kill the show. We gonna kill it.
We're going 187 the show next week. Y'all tune in. We're probably going to be here on Wednesday. Matter of fact, we're going to tell you now. We'll be back next Wednesday, not Thursday, because we're going to be flying out to Vegas next Thursday. Same time, 5 o'clock, right here, A2D Radio, vetted. I'm Irving Fryar. This big dog Hollis Thomas right over there. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for your support. And yes, it's not the Eagles are out, but go Birds.
Go Birds. Fly, Eagles, fly.